Low profile. Low profile. I must keep a low profile. Important things must be said thrice. I, Jiang Shan, have always been a low profile and humble person. Gazing at the lines he had just written with water on the table, Jiang Shan touched his slightly swollen cheeks and looked towards a Jujug red steed in the stable. It's not that I can't beat you, but I want to keep a low profile. Having just arrived here, I don't want to start a dispute with a horse. Attracting attention would not sound good. Muttering to himself, Jiang Shan instantly felt much better. It has already been 5 whole years since that battle in the Empyrean. During this time, he learned to create his own universe, successfully recreated a new library of Heaven's Path, and only afterward did he understand that all the energy maintaining the new world came from this place called Origin. Once severed, all spiritual energy would disappear, and the entire world would collapse. 5 days ago, the linked source world suddenly became restless, and the new world was also badly affected. Even he himself suffered severe injuries from the backlash of his power. To save countless lives and himself, he had no choice but to follow the power to this place. And upon entering, he was immediately restricted by the dense origin power, unable to use his cultivation that was completely confined within his body. At this moment, not only was he badly injured, but his body could only exert the strength of an ordinary person, unable to wield greater power. Without an identity, one was a refugee, unable to shop or stay in an inn, and always facing the danger of being killed or captured. Jiang Shan was no exception. Soon after entering Bayan City, he was taken to Mo Mansion and gloriously became a coachman. As the world's teacher, tending to horses was one thing. Even Sun Wukong had his time as horse's fortune. But to be beaten by a horse was really an embarrassment. This horse belonged to Mo Yangzu, the young mistress of Mo Mansion, named Sakjang. Not yet 3 years old, it was very spirited. Because it was not allowed to be tethered, it often fought over his food, resulting in quite a few conflicts. Jiang Shan had put up with it for 3 consecutive days. Once, twice, but not a third time. On the 4th occasion he, a lord of a realm, finally decided to take action, and thus, ended up being kicked, his face all swollen, looking now like a panda with even worse injuries. If I wasn't injured, I would definitely kill you. After rubbing his face with a wet towel for a bit and feeling much better, just as he was worried about going hungry again today, he heard urgent footsteps coming his way. 2 figures walked into the stable. A young man and a woman. Leading them was a girl around 16 or 17, dressed in a dark green long skirt, with a melon seed-shaped face, her eyebrows revealing a dignified elegance, her black eyes cold with a hint of indifference. It was none other than Mo Yangzu, Sakjang's owner, the young mistress of Mo Mansion. The man nearby, fat with a weight of over 200 pounds, with narrow triangular eyes and a mustache, housekeeper Feng Jin. It was he who brought him here in the first place. Crap! Jiang Shan's eyelids twitched. He had just been pummeled, and in a moment of anger, tethered Sakjang. Now that they had seen this, it was bound to cause a lot of trouble. As expected, upon seeing the horse tied up, Feng Jin's face turned ashen and he couldn't help but scold loudly. Jiang Shan, you lowly subordinate, how dare you tether Sakjang? Are you seeking death? I was just tidying up the room and feared disturbing Sakjang. Jiang Shan hurriedly explained. Shut up, a mere coachman should just follow the rules. Taking matters into your own hands, do you think you have the right? With a cold gaze, Feng Jin said, let me tell you, the young mistress is going to report to Bayan Academy tomorrow for the source pool evaluation. If she passes, she will embark on the path of cultivation and soar to great heights. If something happens to Sakjang because of you and it affects the mistress's important event, not even 100 lives of yours would be enough to make up for it. Jiang Shan was puzzled. Source pool evaluation. Feng Jin, indeed, to practice cultivation, you must first find the source pool within your body and successfully open it. The young mistress has done so and naturally can take the evaluation to become a true cultivator. Yes, Jiang Shan quickly bowed his head, memorizing the names, source pool, and source pool evaluation. Just as Feng Jin was about to continue speaking, Mo Yangzu suddenly spoke up, her voice cold, like the clashing of iron and stone. This young mistress is clear about rewards and punishments and will not arbitrarily reward, and I will also not deliberately make things difficult. Sakjang's coat is glossy, its hocks are strong, and its eyes are bright. It seems you have not mistreated it. However, a mere coachman disregarding the rules and making decisions, if everyone did so, wouldn't the Mo family be in chaos? Deduct 3 days of meals, let this be a warning to others. Yes, Feng Jin quickly nodded, his face full of flattery. The young mistress is truly magnanimous. It's just a trivial matter, there's no need to waste so much effort. Backward. Gently stroking the pink mane of the handsome horse, Mo Yangzu turned to Zhang Shan and said, "Though autumn has begun, the weather remains hot. You are responsible for fanning it and bathing it. If I find out Zhang is in a bad mood because of the heat, it won't be as simple as missing a meal. Instead, you'll be dragged out and beaten to death. As a mere coachman, no one would seek justice for your death if you died." Zhang Shan nodded repeatedly. "Miss, rest assured, I will do my utmost." After saying what needed to be said, Mo Yangzu turned and walked away. She was just passing by the stables and came to check if her mount was being mistreated. Seeing that it was well cared for, she felt at ease. Before long, Feng Jin sent over a cart of fine feed. The delivery was made by a 30-something subordinate named Wu Xiang, who had been with the Mo family for a full 10 years and had frequently skimmed off Zhang Shan's food. Acting as his direct superior and despite being stern on normal days, Wu Xiang had nevertheless crossed paths with him a few times. Zhang Shan couldn't resist asking a question that had been on his mind. "I just heard housekeeper Feng mention something about so-spool and so-spool evaluation. May I ask what that means?" "This is a term related to cultivation." Wu Xiang was not an easy person to converse with, but since these matters were no secret and there were people he could ask, he did not conceal the information. Origin Chi is the most primal force among the heavens. It can create and reshape the world, its power endless and boundless. To control such a mighty force is not easy. Naturally, it requires a special method. After listening for a while, Zhang Shan began to understand. Origin Chi was powerful enough to suppress even his own cultivation. For ordinary people to absorb it would probably be like swallowing concentrated sulfuric acid, fatal on the spot. And the source pool was precisely the container that held this force, similar to the danshan used for cultivation on the master-teacher continent. Origin Chi is divided into 9 tiers, from grade 7 to grade 1, with grade 7 being the lowest and grade 1 the highest. The source pool evaluation is a test to assess the tier a source pool can withstand. The higher the tier is endured, the greater the achievements one can attain in the future. Finally, Wu Xiang snorted, "You don't even know what a source pool is, so don't harbor any hopes for cultivation. A subordinate is a subordinate, and you should not delude yourself with aspirations of leaping onto a branch to become a phoenix." Although the Mo family does not restrict martial arts practice, unauthorized cultivation without permission is punished with death if discovered. After sending Wu Xiang away, Zhang Shan fell into deep thought. It seemed that becoming a master in this world was not as easy as he had imagined. Putting everything else aside, just finding and developing a source pool was a hassle. "I need to find a cultivation technique first to tailor it." The way of the heavens in this world was completely different from that in the Empyrean, rendering the Heaven's Path divine art and the library of Heaven's Path useless. At this moment, he was even more distressed than when he had first transmigrated to the master-teacher continent. Back then, he still had the identity of a teacher. Now, he was just a coachman. It felt rather sorrowful just to think about it. Shaking his head to clear these distracting thoughts, Zhang Shan unconsciously untied the rope that tethered the horse. Hiss. Zhang let out a roar, lifting its front hooves violently and kicking out at him again. Quite obviously, the creature felt that he had been released a bit too late and was somewhat angry. "A wise man does not brawl with a horse. My restraint is not cowardice, it's being low-key." His body swaying, Zhang Shan was just about to dodge the attack when a sudden idea popped into his mind. If Origin Chi can be likened to the spiritual energy of the master-teacher continent and refined into Zhenqi, the new world that I've created also absorbs Origin Chi. Then, could the power forged within it be directly used as Zhenqi? This thought, once it surfaced, became unstoppable. With a mental command, the new world Zhang Shan created began to operate, and immediately a special origin power spread to his palm. At that moment, the forehooves of the Zhang horse were right in front of him, and without any hesitation, Zhang Shan extended his palm lightly forward, and the force surged out powerfully. Bang! The air seemed to crack like a whip, the Zhang horse's large eyes filled with fear. With a crisp sound, it was sent flying for more than a dozen meters, neck twisted awkwardly as it heavily crashed to the ground, breath ceasing instantly. "Dead, is it dead?" His vision darkening, Zhang Shan felt an urge to cry. He had agreed to keep a low profile, hadn't he? Why did this major commotion happen in an instant? However, as luck would have it, a casual slap had done the deed. He never dreamt the normally arrogant creature was so frail. Done for, he had caused a huge disaster. The young lady treasured this horse like a jewel. If she found out he had killed it, it was doubtful he could leave the Mo mansion alive. No, he had to think of a way to slip away in advance. This idea had barely surfaced when Jiang Shan immediately shook his head. Mo Mansion is as secure as iron, and to leave, one must obtain an identity and walk out openly. If escaping were easy, I would have done so already, not waited until now. No, why was I able to kill it? After the frustration, a trace of doubt also surfaced in his mind. I've been bullied by this horse for several days straight. The more fiercely I resisted, the harder I was beaten. Why the sudden reversal today? He rerun the event just now in his mind and couldn't help but look towards the new world again. This was a place created by absorbing origin chi, with a structure identical to the Empyrean, lands, mountain ranges, oceans, flora and fauna. It had everything. He saw an area within the new world where a vast ocean, sprawling tens of thousands of miles, had now completely evaporated, turning into wisps of light blue light. The force that killed the horse had originated from there. I thought I killed the Sabjang horse because the suppressed strength was released, but it turns out, I burned the new world. To kill a single horse, it consumed an ocean spanning tens of thousands of miles. With such battles, if experienced a few more times, the universe that was so hard to open up might completely collapse and turn into nothingness. His soul was long bound to this place. If this were to happen, he himself would definitely suffer great damage. This method is good, better not use it again. Pushing these thoughts aside, he once again looked at the Sabjang in front of him. The previously arrogant steed was now arrogantly dead. Unmoving, slowly becoming stiff. This is Mo Yangzu's 16-year-old birthday gift, regarded as a precious treasure. What to do now? Jiang Shan felt somewhat troubled. Just tying it up had led to punishment. If this situation became known, the consequences were clear without thinking. With his current strength, even if he escaped Mo Mansion, he would surely be captured and chopped into mush in public. Enter this world was his preparedness for sacrifice, but to die over a horse was just absurd. No, I must think of a way to save myself. Or, could you get up and kick once? He grabbed Sabjang's front hoof, mumbled a word, and as he was thinking of how to use the Library of Heaven's path in this world, he heard Wu Xiang's voice outside the horse stable. Jiang Shan, this is the fan Missy uses for Sabjang. This horse has thick skin and can't handle the heat well. You must attend to it carefully and make sure there are no mistakes. The door creaked open, Wu Xiang's words stopped abruptly, and he rubbed his eyes vigorously, then his face registered fear. You killed it. Not expecting the man to appear so suddenly, without even time to hide the corpse, Jiang Shan was silent for a moment, then explained, can I say, it was an accident. Wu Xiang went mad. Is this a matter of it being an accident or not? You know how important this horse is to miss. Your death is insignificant, just don't drag me down. No, I can't be punished with you. Right, I'll inform on you, maybe I can escape trouble. He stepped back twice, turned, and charged out. In the blink of an eye, he was gone without a trace. Quote. Jiang Shan hadn't expected him to run off so quickly, failing even to prevent him from leaving, and he felt a wave of helplessness. Had he not been discovered, there would still have been a chance to deal with the body. Even if he couldn't escape, at least he would have had a few more hours to think of a plan. Now, he had no options left. Was he to just sit and wait for death? Or perhaps, igniting the burning new world, acquiring a certain strength for a short time in order to break free from Mo Mansion? Setting aside whether the new world could significantly help his strength, or whether he could fight against some masters, just the thought of burning it to exhaustion meant that all the living spirits within would die. If that were the case, venturing here wasn't about resolving a crisis, but a fancy way to court death. What should I do? Right, a Sabjang horse becomes an object upon death, and as long as it's an object, it can be awakened. At his wit's end, an idea suddenly came to him. Spirit Awakener, the most adept. Skill of Spirit Awakeners on the Master Teacher continent, as the name implies, could awaken any object, bestowing spirit creation upon dead things, allowing them to obey one's commands, like a Taoist driving zombies, or a cultivator wielding a sword. In the past, Wang Ying had even awakened the entire Master Teacher Pavilion's building, and battled with it. However, Origin Chi had sealed his strength. To awaken might still require continued burning. Knowing this would result in the least damage, Jiang Shan no longer hesitated and once again approached the Sabjang horse, lifting his hand to point at the steed's brow, and pressed down. Boom! A mountain range of over 100,000 li within the new world instantly crumbled to pieces, turning into streaks of cyan light. Housekeeper Feng, as soon as I entered, I saw Jiang Shan hitting Sabjang, and then Sabjang fell to the ground, lifeless. Just as Jiang Shan placed his finger on Sabjang's brow, Wu Xiang's explanation sounded in the courtyard, quickly followed by the sound of urgent footsteps. Creak. The gate was violently pushed open, and Feng Jin was the first to charge in, his face revealing a look of anxiety, clearly agitated by Wu Xiang's message. The sight inside the stable immediately caught his eye. Jiang Shan squatted on the ground, petting the head of the horse, which lay motionless, apparently dead. Housekeeper Feng's heavy body trembled uncontrollably. Jiang Shan, you actually dared to kill Sir Jiang, you are courting death. Kill. Before the remark could fall, it was interrupted by Jiang Shan. Housekeeper Feng, you must be mistaken, how could I dare do such a thing? I'm just scratching Sir Jiang to relieve its itching. His eyelids twitched uncontrollably. Housekeeper Feng wanted to kill someone, do you think I am blind? Scratching to relieve itching could stiffen a whole horse like a rock. At that moment, Sir Jiang's entire body had stiffened, rigid as a dried up sock, it was clearly dead. And you are telling me, this is scratching to relieve itching? Are you joking? You don't believe me, Housekeeper Feng. With an innocent face, Jiang Shan offered, how about this, let's make a bet. If Sir Jiang is truly dead, I'll accept my punishment without complaint, but if it's not, I'd like to accompany Miss tomorrow to Bayan Academy to see how she does in the source pool evaluation. For a young lady like Mo Yangzu, leaving the house would inevitably involve several attendants, and who gets selected and who doesn't, you, sir, still hold quite the power. You, a mere subordinate, what status do you have to wager with me? Feng Jin retorted sharply, it doesn't matter whether I'm worthy or not. What's important is, Jiang Shan scratched his head, his dark eyes filled with simplicity, if Sir Jiang really is dead, even if you beat me to death, you can't escape your responsibility, given that you were the one who caught me and brought me to Mo Mansion. And if Sir Jiang is alive, it's a win-win, the young lady is happy, you can rest easy, and you might even receive a reward. Housekeeper Feng, I'm just a subordinate and don't understand much, but am I right? You. Taken aback, Housekeeper Feng looked at the young man before him again, his eyes narrowing involuntarily. Feng Jin did not hold refugees in contempt, those labeled refugees were almost always fugitives, beggars, or vagrants, basically the powerless, unlearned, and incapable, triple withouts. Becoming subordinates in the Grand Mansion, far from being a disaster, was rather a stroke of luck for them. He had thought that the simpleton before him was just like the rest, with his greatest achievement being the ability to raise a horse, yet he had confidently articulated all these reasons. If the Sir Jiang really were to die, as the housekeeper who had him captured, he indeed bore an inescapable responsibility and would definitely face repercussions. A brief suppression was one thing, but once he lost the young Mrs. Trust, and with the subordinates he had once bullied waiting to turn the tables on him, the so-called losses would become unbearably heavy. After giving Jiang Shan a cold glance, Feng Jin narrowed his eyes and approached Sir Jiang, reaching out to touch it. Not feeling worried before the touch, but after, his body trembled so much he could hardly stand. Not just stiff, but damn cold. You are telling me this damn thing is alive? Alive my ass. A twitch at the corner of his mouth, he looked toward the coachman not far away and saw him looking back. Have you made up your mind, Housekeeper Feng? I'm just a refugee, unlike you, the esteemed housekeeper of Mo Mansion. It really isn't worth it to get into trouble over a refusal to bet. Although he was furious at being threatened to his face, Feng Jin also knew that the other man spoke the truth. He nodded immediately, fine, I'll take the bet. If you can bring Sir Jiang back to life, I'll take you to Bayan Academy. If you fail, even if the young miss doesn't give the order, you'll be chopped into pieces and die without a whole corpse. Thank you, Housekeeper Feng. With a shout, Jiang Shan slapped his palm on Sir Jiang's forehead. Stop sleeping, get up quickly. With a twitch of his mouth, Wu Xiang called out, acting so theatrically when it's already become so stiff, I'd like to see how you salvage this. He spoke with such conviction that it seemed he had some great method. That's it, I could do that too. Before he had finished speaking, Sir Jiang suddenly opened its eyes and, with a whoosh, leapt to its feet, his tilde, snorting vigorously as it shook its head and tail, full of vigor and vitality, not at all stiff like before. How is this possible? Feng Jin was completely dumbfounded. If he had merely seen the horse dead, he might have had his doubts, but he had just touched it himself, finding no heartbeat or pulse. And then, just after the other man's words, it had sprung to life. What on earth happened? Wu Xiang was also stunned. Okay, I guess I can't do that. How did you do it? He couldn't help but ask. Jiang Shan smiled and said the answer he had prepared. Sir Jiang was fine all along, it just knows me well and was acting along. The way of spiritual awakening, whether it exists in this world or not, was better left unsaid for now. Wu Xiang couldn't help but interject, impossible. As a young 1000 Li horse, Sir Jiang is incredibly proud. Even the young miss has to coax it gently to ride it. How could it listen to you and act in your play? Before he finished his sentence, he saw the recently standing Sabjang horse nuzzle its chestnut head against Jiang Shan's leg, indescribably docile, like an obedient golden retriever. Wu Xiang. He had fed the horse before. It was always snatching food and occasionally kicking people wildly. He couldn't stand it and handed it over to this guy, hoping the other would embarrass himself. After just a few days of caring, it had become this close. Feng Jin, acting along with you. Jiang Shan's face once again showed his simple honesty. Yes, this fellow is very obedient. Just stroke its forehead, and you can become friends with it, then it will start to listen to you. Really? Wu Xiang's eyes widened, feeling confident again. Don't believe me, you can come and try. Jiang Shan gestured invitingly. Seeing Sabjang standing still, motionless and without any sign of life, Wu Xiang turned his head towards Feng Jin and took a deep breath after seeing the housekeeper. Nod, then approached the horse. This horse was too important for the young miss. If he could also make it obedient, he knew well that his status in the Mo family would be on the rise, soaring to great heights. With extreme caution, he extended his hand towards it, but before his palm could touch Sabjang's face, the fiery red steed suddenly turned around. Bang! Two massive hooves kicked his chest hard. Before Wu Xiang could react, he flew 7 or 8 meters away and crashed heavily to the ground, spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood with a "Wah! You tricked me." Struggling to get up, Wu Xiang's vision darkened. Alright, that still doesn't work. He knew full well what was going on. The other party was obviously angry that he had snitched, allowing the horse to take its revenge. But the horse's cooperation was just too good. Just as he was about to curse, he saw Jiang Shan and the Sabjang horse not far away, both opening their mouths. Although no sound came out, he could clearly make out their lip shape. Idiot. Quote. With a twitch of his mouth, Wu Xiang couldn't hold back anymore, pointing at the Sabjang horse full of anger. Housekeeper Feng, it's insulting me. It was acceptable for Jiang Shan to insult him, but a horse. Was there no justice left in the world? Were there no laws? Housekeeper Feng covered his forehead. Shut up, do you not think you've embarrassed yourself enough? A horse insulting people. Are you having a mental breakdown? Wu Xiang rubbed his eyes vigorously. The Sabjang horse stood quietly behind Jiang Shan, without any abnormalities, as if it really hadn't just opened its mouth to insult someone. It must have been his mistake. Ignoring this man, Jiang Shan looked earnestly toward the fat man not far away. Housekeeper Feng, does the bet from earlier still count? Of course. Feng Jin felt like he was on the verge of grinding his molars to dust. Since the Sabjang listens to you, then take good care of it. Make sure to deliver the young miss on time for the assessment tomorrow, and don't delay the journey. Knowing that to stay here would only lead to further humiliation, Feng Jin turned and left. When he was about to exit the yard, he looked at Wu Xiang. Aren't you hurrying up? Yes. Wu Xiang nodded repeatedly, glancing back as he walked, still unable to figure out just what had happened. Just as he was about to leave the stable, he saw from a distance Jiang Shan slapping the Sabjang horse on its face angrily, with a tone full of tough love. Who told you to insult people just now? Don't you know the rules? Remember your place, you are just a horse. Quote. Wu Xiang rubbed his eyes again. Jiang Shan and the Sabjang horse were still standing calmly in their spot, both smiling at him. This is really crazy. After several misperceptions, Wu Xiang no longer trusted his own eyes, so he shook his head briskly and left in a hurry. It was only then that Jiang Shan breathed a sigh of relief. I bet this guy won't dare to say anything now. No matter what happens, nobody would believe him. The scolding of the Sabjang was naturally an act for the other party to see, the purpose being to make him doubtful, so that if any other issue arose, he would hesitate to lodge a complaint. After all, the crisis was not entirely resolved. Spirit Awakener skills can make a dead horse stand up as if it were alive, making it difficult for anyone to notice any issues for a short time. But dead is dead, and with the scorching weather of the late hot season, it probably wouldn't make it to tomorrow before starting to rot. Once it starts to stink, even the most foolish person would realize there's a problem that can no longer be concealed. Gurgle tilde. As he was struggling with how to deal with the current situation, his stomach embarrassingly started to growl. Having been robbed by that guy several times, he hadn't eaten for days, and after all this exertion, he was now hungry enough to eat a horse. Instead of letting it rot, might as well eat a bit. Since the horse was already dead, instead of waiting for it to rot, it would be better to have a full meal first. However, if he ate it directly, and if the young miss wanted to ride it tomorrow, missing a leg or an ear would be very easy to spot. If he didn't eat, the hunger was unbearable, and if he happened to be the first ruler of the Source world to die of starvation, that would be even more shameful. Eating some of the innards shouldn't be noticeable, right? Soon, an idea popped into Zhang Shan's head. He then walked into the kitchen, fetched a sharp knife, and threw it to the Sabjang horse, waving his hand impatiently. Carve out your heart, lungs, liver, spleen, and kidneys, roast them for me to eat. I'm too kind-hearted to do it myself. Sabjang horse, are you sure that was human speech? Stretching lazily, Zhang Shan walked out of his room. He had finished the innards of Sabjang last night. Instead of going straight to rest, he carefully studied the relationship between the New World and Origin Chi. Origin Chi is the foundation of the New World, much like the ink of a 3D printer, capable of composing everything, evolving the world, ever-changing and infinitely powerful. No wonder a world master like Ni Yun had his heaven shattered by a single palm strike in this world. Even the little yellow chick was beaten to rebirth, and it was unclear who the attacker was. Once one truly controls and forges the source of all things, it indeed poses a threat of annihilation to a small world like Master-Teacher continent. Therefore, the real purpose of yesterday's bet with Feng Jin and following Mo Yangzu to Bayan Academy was to find an opportunity to find a cultivation technique, remove the suppression on his body, and link his created library of heaven's path with the heaven of this source world, to practice as soon as possible. Of course, there was another purpose, to obtain the identity of a source world resident, otherwise, being a refugee was quite inconvenient. Coming into the stable, Zhang Shan snapped his fingers, and the Sabjang lying stiff on the ground leapt up, swinging its tail vigorously, sweeping up the fallen leaves on the ground. His face twitching, Zhang Shan couldn't help frowning. It's getting smelly here. The autumn heat is really terrifying. Looking around, he couldn't help but point towards the side and whispered, "Go over there and roll around quickly." A normal stable is not too large, but Mo Yangzu, in order to provide Sabjang a better living environment, specially built a grassy area with many small and large flowers growing about 4 or 5 meters square, exuding a faint fragrance. Hearing the command, the stallion trotted over, rolled on the spot, and indeed camouflaged its odor significantly, replaced with the smell of fresh grass, earth, and flowers. Though it still wasn't quite right, at least it wasn't so unpleasant anymore. Relieved, Zhang Shan carefully groomed Sabjang's mane, making it look vibrant and alive. Just as he was getting things in order, he heard hurried voices outside the courtyard. Mo Yangzu, Feng Jin, Wu Xiang, and others walked in. Not just the three of them, but there was also a plump-faced girl wearing a light-colored flower dress with a small string of copper bells tied around her waist, jingling as she moved. "Zue, you promised, today you will let me ride this 1,000-li horse, and you'll take my carriage. No backing out." Before they got close, the girl shouted out. Mo Yangzu nodded, It's just, Sabjang is proud and a bit wild, so if it throws you off, I'm not responsible." TCH, the girl, small and spirited, took a step forward, her bells ringing crisply. "Do you think you Xiaoyu, get scared easily? I've opened my source pool too, and I'm an origin warrior who can practice, so why would I be scared of a horse?" "Fine then." Seeing her friend's attitude, Mo Yangzu didn't bother to dissuade her any further and turned to Zhang Shan, "Bring Sabjang over." Zhang Shan ungirded the reins and approached them. Undeniably, both Mo Yangzu and Yu Xiaoyu were beauties one might find once in 100 miles, but one was cold like a chrysanthemum, and the other lively like a sparrow, giving different impressions. "Hee, I knew you'd treat me the best, Zue." Seeing Sabjang towering and majestic, certainly more imposing than her carriage, Yu Xiaoyu laughed and approached, unable to resist reaching out to touch its head. "Be careful." Mo Yangzu got a fright and hastily shouted out. This horse of hers was good in all aspects except for an extremely fierce nature. When her father first gave it to her, she, like Xiaoyu now, tried to pet it but ended up kicked and nearly lost her breath. Others may not know her friend's identity, but she was well aware that she was the daughter of Yu Longking, the city lord of Bayan City, and in terms of status, higher than herself by more than a step. If Xiaoyu were to get kicked, it wouldn't just be Sabjang, but the Mo family might be implicated as well. Her hand reached out, intending to pull back the girl in front, only to see the normally irascible Sabjang, far from getting angry, blink its large eyes a couple of times, and unexpectedly nuzzled over, looking docile. It was as if its previous violent temper had never existed. Quote ? Mo Yangzu stood there, stunned. "Am I seeing things? How could this be? Quote. What should I be careful about?" Miss Yu asked curiously as she stroked Sabjang's head. Well, Mo Yangzu was just about to explain when she saw Miss Yu's next action and couldn't help but twitch at the corner of her mouth. The lovely-looking girl came in front of Sakjang and alternately stroked its head and tugged on its ears, even going as far as to flick its forehead a few times. To everyone's expectation, the proud Thousand Li horse, receiving such humiliation, would surely react violently in anger. Instead, like a tamed mutt, it not only refrained from getting angry but also obediently wagged its tail, almost going as far as sticking out its tongue to lick back and forth. Quote. Mo Yangzu was utterly dumbfounded. Could things have changed this much in just one day? I think Sakjang is very easy to get along with. Zue, were you perhaps not willing to let me ride? Miss Yu, filled with excitement, had felt all around Sakjang and muttered with a pout. Before coming here, her friend had made this horse out to be a ferocious beast, so she was prepared not to come near it. She had never expected it to be so tame and adorable. Feeling her face flush with embarrassment, Mo Yangzu wanted to explain but didn't know how to begin. Could it be because of her own fault that the horse liked cuteness? Something's not right. Mo Yangzu turned her head to look at Zhang Shan, who took care of the horses. She knew very well the true nature of this horse. Many subordinates had been chased away by its hooves and dared not to feed it. This gave the newcomer an opportunity, but to change so much in just a few days. Seeing that her friend didn't respond, Miss Yu wasn't bothered and approached Sakjang's back, with an index finger on her chin, looking somewhat troubled. She was only a bit over 1.60 meters, not too tall among girls, and Sakjang being a Thousand Li horse, had a back height of 1.70 meters, making it quite hard for her to mount. Noticing this scene, Feng Jin thought of something, looked at Zhang Shan, and sneered, Zhang Shan, as a coachman, how can you lack such discernment? Why don't you immediately lie down to serve as a step stool for Miss Yu? A step stool? Zhang Shan was stunned. Exactly. Feng Jin's eyes gleamed with a mocking light. It would be an honor for you if Miss Yu could step on you to mount the horse. The opportunity is given, don't be clueless. You were so arrogant yesterday, weren't you? Lie down and be stepped on. Let's see if you still have the face to talk about winning a bet against me. Zhang Shan shook his head. I don't need this opportunity. What's the matter? You want to defy orders? Are you disregarding Miss Yu? Feng Jin turned to apologize. Miss Yu, it's my failure to educate him properly. This boy doesn't know manners. Whatever punishment you'd like, just say the word and I will carry it out immediately, to also teach him the rules that subordinates should abide by. Mo Yangzu didn't respond to him but instead looked at Zhang Shan. Her immaculate face showed no emotion. I want to know the reason. Replying to Miss Yu, one doesn't need a human stool to mount Sakjang, Zhang Shan said and smiled slightly. He looked toward the magnificent horse. Aren't you going to lie down? Expecting some kind of trick, Feng Jin sneered, even Miss Yu has never enjoyed such treatment. Who do you think you are, issuing orders and expecting it to comply? Before Feng Jin could finish speaking, he saw the chestnut-colored horse nod its long head a few times. Subsequently, its tall body slowly bowed down. Quietly lying on the ground, as docile as a cat, it appeared to have understood Zhang Shan's command and strictly obeyed. What? Mo Yangzu, Feng Jin, and others stood there frozen, filled with disbelief. According to their understanding of the horse before them, it was surprising but acceptable to let someone touch it, but lying down and letting anyone ride it, obeying the coachman's orders, was a bit too much. Could it be that Sakjang has really befriended you and understands what you say? Feng Jin couldn't help but ask. Yesterday, this horse had obeyed the others' commands and played dead on the ground, which caused him to lose the bet. Of course. Zhang Shan nodded. What happened? Mo Yangzu looked over. It's like this. Feng Jin hastily recounted yesterday's events in detail, mentioning only how Sakjang cooperated with Zhang Shan while keeping silent about the bet. Sakjang not only doesn't resist but also obediently follows commands, doing whatever is asked of it. Looking towards Zhang Shan with a hint of surprise, Mo Yangzu's eyes revealed a trace of confusion. Could it be that you are a beast tamer? In this world, there were indeed those with the ability to tame beasts, but one first needed to understand their fate, accept it, and upon confirming the fragments of the heavens, could they display various special abilities, with unmatched talent. These individuals each had profound cultivation levels, with 1 in a million, yet a coachman picked at random could do this. Was it real? Unaware of her thoughts, Zhang Shan scratched his head, looking honest and simple. I don't know what's going on, I just feel that making these primordial beasts feel affectionate towards me is very simple. If the library of Heaven's Path could be used, with the help of Heaven's Path Genki, his beast taming was indeed strong, but now, it was merely the death of spirit awakening, nothing to do with beast taming. If he was really proficient, he would not have been beaten into a panda-eyed mess these past few days. Naturally, he couldn't say these things outright. Otherwise, not only would he miss the chance to go to Bayan Academy, but he might also be killed as a monster, so he could only follow the other party's words. Mo Yangzhu was taken aback. Very simple. Are there really people born with such ability? Why have I never heard of it? Who cares if you've heard of it or not, isn't it great to have this ability? Yu Xiaoyu jumped up excitedly, the bells on her body ringing loudly. My father just caught a Kangbai eagle, and despite trying for nearly half a month, it hasn't submitted willingly. When you're done with the source pool evaluation, lend me this coachman to make that stubborn creature obey. This, Zhang Shan turned to look at Mo Yangzhu. As a coachman, he couldn't just leave it will. Understanding his meaning, Mo Yangzhu nodded. If you can do it, helping Xiaoyu out is no problem. Setting aside the friendship between close friends, the one they were helping was the city lord. If successful, it would bring great benefits to the Mo family. Zhang Shan hurriedly clasped his fists. Yes, miss. Since he was part of Burning New World and could use Spirit Awakener skills, the ability to tame beasts should also be available. If he really couldn't refuse, then at worst he'd have to burn down a couple more mountains. Of course, he'd make sure to secure the benefits in advance. Time is running out. If we don't hurry, we might miss the source pool evaluation. Xiaoyu, stop dawdling and get on the horse. Glancing at the position of the sun, Mo Yangzhu spoke no further. Yu Xiaoyu nodded, mounted the horseback, and with a soft neigh, Zhang slowly stood up and walked out of the courtyard with large strides. Seeing that this horse was different from before, Mo Yangzhu followed closely. After a few steps, she turned her head for a glance at Zhang Shan. You should come along too. Yes, Zhang Shan silently breathed a sigh of relief. The first step was successful. Although Feng Jin also mentioned he would bring him, having the young lady speak personally certainly had a better effect. Most importantly, it deepened the impression, which would make whatever came next smoother. Outside the Mo mansion, a luxurious carriage stood still, built entirely of solid wood, very sturdy, and decorated all around. As the wind blew, the decorations jingled, making it clear without guessing that it must belong to Yu Xiaoyu. The young lady sat on Zhang's back, turning her head toward the following Miss Mo. You can ride in my carriage. Mo Yangzhu nodded and stopped in front of the carriage frame. Zhang Shan glanced at Feng Jin, who was closely following behind, and chuckled lightly. Housekeeper Feng, you should kneel down to make a step for the young lady to get on the carriage, right? A carriage step is a stool used for getting onto a carriage, similar to a mounting block for horses. Having been deliberately humiliated just now, given the chance, he naturally would not let it pass. Letting him get the better of me. Not going to happen. How could Feng Jin not understand his meaning? His face turned extremely ugly. As the chief steward of Mo Mansion, kneeling on the ground in public, what authority would he have in front of his subordinates afterward? While he was still hesitating, he heard the coachman's voice rise again. Just now, you said it would be an honor for Miss Yu to step on you, and now that the young lady needs to get on the carriage, why are you hesitating? You, of course, I'll make a carriage step. Haven't I just not reached the front? Fearing the other party would continue, Feng Jin forcibly suppressed his anger. Took 2 steps to the front of the carriage, and slowly knelt down, his fat trembling non-stop due to the exaggerated motion. Without saying much about their bickering, Mo Yangzhu looked at Zhang Shan again and stepped on Feng Jin to enter the carriage compartment. You, this coachman, are quite amusing. Yu Xiaoyu, standing to the side, had also noticed the friction between them. She signaled Zhang Shan with her hand, a deep dimple showing on her face. Come over to help me lead the horse. I'm afraid I won't be able to control it if it gets spooked. Yes, Zhang Shan approached. This fellow's nerves were probably feasted on by himself. The possibility of getting spooked was close to none. However, he also understood her intention. She obviously took a liking to him and was taking his side. And he was willing to oblige. It was also a chance to make his presence felt. The handsome and lofty 1,000-li horse strode ahead, and the bells on Yu Xiaoyu's body jingled along the way, attracting attention from many people. However, when they noticed Zhang's imposing manner and the luxury of the carriage, they all knew better than to cause offense, so no one dared to come forth and provoke. After traveling for a short hour, a huge building appeared in their sight. The tall courtyard walls could not conceal the sprawling greenery. On the signboard above the gate, 4 radiant characters beckoned, Bayan Academy. Already, a crowd was gathered outside the gate. Most of them were boys and girls around 16 or 17 years old. Xiaoyu, you're here. Hearing the sound of bells, a young man walked over. He looked to be in his 20s, dressed in ashy green, his face different but bearing a resemblance to Yu Xiaoyu. Brother, Yu Xiaoyu waved excitedly. It was no other than the eldest son of the city lord and Yu Xiaoyu's brother, Yu Feng. Didn't I prepare a carriage for you? Why are you riding a horse? Yu Feng was filled with confusion. This is a 1,000-li horse. Ordinary people would never have the chance to ride one. Seeing her brother fail to appreciate the horse, Yu Xiaoyu pouted. 1,000-li horse. Yu Feng looked closely at the horse before him. There was no denying that the animal's build was indeed very beautiful. With its reddish-brown coat and a majestic and upright stature, it commanded great presence anywhere it went. Nodding with satisfaction, just as Yu Feng was about to speak, his gaze fell somewhere and he couldn't help but freeze. This fellow, why is it attracting flies? Following the direction of the city lord's eldest son's pointing finger, dozens of flies buzzed around the belly of Zhang, as if chasing after a delightful delicacy of the human world. With a twitch of his eyebrow, Jiang Shan's eyes involuntarily flickered. I forgot about this. Flowers may mask some odors, but these things, they just can't be blocked. Bees or butterflies or the like would have been fine, but flies, even the most foolish knew there was a problem. Flies. Hopping off the horse, Yu Xiaoyu hurriedly checked the belly of Zhang and indeed saw a swarm of flies buzzing around. She then looked at the coachman not far away with a puzzled face. What's going on here? Waving his hand to disperse the excrement-loving flies, Jiang Shan remained unruffled, reporting to Miss Yu, the recent humid weather of the southward sky is heavy, and besides, I didn't expect that right at the prestigious school's entrance, there would be such things. It's probably because their sanitation is not up to scratch, and it's quite normal to have some of these creatures. First, push away the blame, then speak. After all, without bending down to sniff carefully, no one could be certain. Yu Feng frowned. You mean this only started after we arrived here? Jiang Shan nodded, his face full of sorrow. Is young Master Yu questioning us subordinates? I clean and wipe the Zhang horse every day, even bathing it with fresh flowers. It has always been clean, otherwise, it wouldn't be fitting for Miss Yu of such precious birth to ride on. Yu Xiaoyu, brother, he's right. Zhang is a 1,000-li horse. It only consumes the finest feed and resides in its own special area, not messy like an ordinary horse. It definitely doesn't smell, and I've been riding it all the way here. It absolutely must be the school's issue. I will report this to the student affairs office later and have the teachers deal with it. Seeing his sister speak up, Yu Feng did not pursue the matter further and immediately smiled. These are minor issues. Let's go. Let's enter the campus first. Once you're past the assessment, I'll help you choose a teacher. Yu Xiaoyu nodded, just about to call out to Mo Yangzu, when she heard a slightly mocking voice coming over. There are many kinds of horses, but not every one that is a bit larger or looks a bit more handsome can be called a 1,000-li horse or be qualified as one. At that moment, a tall girl, also riding a splendid horse, slowly approached. This horse was an entire head taller than Zhang, with a coat of light black fur that shone brilliantly, a slender neck, powerful hooves, and bright, expressive eyes. The sound of its hooves clicking on the rice-green rock floor went, clack clack clack, and even before it came into view, it exerted a strong sense of oppression. Recognizing the other party's identity, Yu Xiaoyu's eyebrows lifted. Liu Mingyu, what do you mean by that? The girl across from her was named Liu Mingyu, the daughter of the Liu clan head among the 3 premier clans of Bayan City. She was known alongside Mo Yangzu and Yu Xiaoyu as one of Bayan City's 3 great beauties, always eager to compete with them. They would inevitably quarrel every time they met. The reason she insisted on riding Zhang this time was to appear even more imposing, in hopes of overshadowing the other when they met. Unexpectedly, this girl had brought an even taller and more impressive horse. Compared in size and presence, hers was decidedly superior. Can't you see? Liu Mingyu pulled on the reins, lifting her white chin to reveal a curve like that of a swan's neck. My Dao Li is the real 1,000-li horse. Yours, at best, is just a foal and dares to falsely claim the title of a 1,000-li horse. That's nonsense. Clenching her silver teeth, Yu Xiaoyu's face flushed with anger, wanting to refute, but she was at a loss for words, only puffing her cheeks without being able to speak. In front of other horses, Zhang was indeed incomparably grand, but next to her Dao Li, it really did seem like just a foal, not impressive at all. Not convinced? If so, do you dare to let your horse have a contest with my Dao Li? If you win, I will acknowledge it as a 1,000-li horse. Otherwise, you should admit on your own that you came to the school riding a foal. Liu Mingyu looked over with a smile brimming in her eyes. How should we compete? Unintimidated, Yu Xiaoyu placed her hands on her hips. Seeing her take the bait, Liu Mingyu said, it's simple. The source pool evaluation is about to begin, and it's not realistic to have them run a 1,000-li. However, any true Thousand Li horse is also a formidable war horse, not only strong in body but also decidedly firm in soul energy. As she spoke, she took out a piece of greyish-green stone and held it in her palm. I have here a Moyung jade stone, which I happened to acquire on the battlefield, soaked in soldiers' blood. It contains a rich killing intent. Once activated, it can simulate the battlefield environment, startling the heart. If it's a genuine Thousand Li horse, it would move within a 10-meter radius unaffected, while a regular horse might not be so lucky and could become frightened and panic. Do you dare let your horse give it a try? Moyung jade stone contains a dense killing intent. Once released, it has the effect of honing the minds of cultivators and boosting soul energy. To take out something so precious just to test a horse, you truly live up to the Liu clan heiress's reputation, so magnanimous. It doesn't really matter though, it's just a use, won't waste too much of the sinister energy, and as long as it's sealed afterward, it can still be used later. That's true. The surrounding students began discussing amongst themselves. Yu Xiaoyu did not agree directly but frowned slightly with some hesitation. After all, this wasn't her horse, and it wasn't really her place to decide. What's wrong? Don't you dare. A snicker came, and Liu Mingyu smoothed her bangs on her forehead. If you don't dare, just boldly admit that you're not as good as me, riding a young horse to the school. Yu Xiaoyu pursed her lips. If she really admitted it, she would never be able to lift her head in front of the other person again. Not knowing how to respond, a faint voice came from inside the carriage. Why wouldn't I dare? The carriage curtains were drawn open. Mo Yangzu stepped out. Dressed in white, her slightly chilly facial features complemented by her tall, slender figure made all the young men present light up their eyes. The battle of the three great beauties was too pleasing to the eye. Liu Mingyu suddenly realized, I get it, that must be your Zhang, right? But it looks so listless, doesn't seem all that impressive. Mo Yangzu, how can you know before testing it? But, just getting your acknowledgement means nothing, let's raise the stakes. Liu Mingyu, what should we wager? Mo Yangzu, simple, the loser must apologize to Xiaoyu in public, apologize to my Zhang, and then shout 3 times, I was wrong. Liu Mingyu, alright, but then, it won't be as simple as a test. I want Zhang and Dao Li to compete against the killing intent, the one who resists more wins. Seeing that there was some confusion about the rules, Liu Mingyu continued, the closer you are to the Moyung jade stone, the more violent the killing intent. In other words, whichever of the 2 horses is closer wins. What do you say? Are you in? This, Mo Yangzu furrowed her brows. Although Zhang was a Thousand Li horse, it was young and had an irritable temperament. Plus, it hadn't experienced life and death battles. Entering within a 10-meter perimeter would be fine, but the outcome of a competition with the other horse was hard to predict. While pondering, something suddenly dawned on her, and she turned her head to look at the coachman not far away. If this guy could make Zhang obedient and resist the killing intent, he could probably do it, right? Zhang Shan, Zhang has always been under your care, to compete or not is up to you. Me. Zhang Shan was momentarily taken aback as he was unexpectedly called out by the young lady. He then began to ponder his situation. To outsiders, the scene might seem like a competition, but it was actually the young ladies taking the opportunity to put each other down. With his current identity, no matter who won or lost, there was no real benefit for him. Plus, it would make him too conspicuous, contrary to a low-key, reserved image. Considering this, there was no need to get involved. With that thought, he quickly bowed, forgive me, miss, I am but a coachman, not worthy. Before he could finish, Mo Yangzu interrupted him, since I've asked you to decide, your status doesn't matter. You have the right to make the decision. This, Zhang Shan looked troubled, I only know how to care for horses, I don't understand anything else, the young lady flatters me, I'm afraid. Mo Yangzu interrupted again, if you win, you'll be rewarded 100 origin currency. Good. Before the words were out, the coachman, who had just shown difficulty on his face, spread his hand decisively, his face revealing resolve, we must compete, why wouldn't we? Origin currency was the currency used for transactions in this world. As a coachman, I earned only 200 to 300 a month. To compete and immediately get 100, only a fool would refuse. If it had been the Zhang horse from before it died, I wouldn't have been sure, but this guy was already dead. The only reason he could move and jump was due to the way of spiritual awakening. Let alone ordinary killing intent, even if he were to charge into battle and get chopped dozens of times, he wouldn't feel the slightest fear or take a single step back. Seeing that he agreed, Mo Yangzu's lips slightly curled up, but the smile vanished in an instant. If you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't notice it at all. Then her cold voice continued, Liu Mingyu, you heard him. Since you want to compete, I'm more than happy to oblige. Good. I thought you might be too scared. Liu Mingyu's eyes gleamed. She deliberately sought trouble and oppressed the other party because she was very confident in her Dao Li, fully assured of her victory. Dao Li had been on the battlefield, had seen and adapted to the true order of slaughter. It would be an embarrassment if he lost to a still immature colt. She turned her head and glanced at the foolish coachman, then sneered. By letting this guy decide, there'll come a time for you all to cry. On the side, Yu Feng couldn't help coming forward, lowering his voice, Miss Mo, isn't it a bit too frivolous to agree so readily? If we lose, we'll just penalize him. Mo Yangzu chuckled lightly. Yu Feng was stunned, then suddenly realized, and looked at the girl in front of him with admiration. Under the circumstances just now, not competing would definitely affect their reputation, but losing would have an even greater impact. Letting a subordinate decide would focus the blame on them. Even if they lost, it wouldn't embarrass her too much. Winning, on the other hand, would highlight her wisdom. Thinking of this in such a short time, it was no wonder she was known as a genius throughout Bayan City. He turned his head and glanced at his sister. At that moment, Yu Xiaoyu was standing in front of the Zhejiang horse, whispering encouragement to it, completely oblivious to the conflict between the two women. Yu Feng couldn't help but shake his head. Both claimed to be among the three beauties of Bayan City, yet why was there such a big difference? Let's begin. Ignoring the opponent's sadness, Liu Mingyu gestured with her hand. A black-clad subordinate came forward and respectfully took the Moyun jade stone. The palm of his hand suddenly burst into cyan grey force of origin, flowing like water and completely invading the stone. This must be the force of origin. Zhang Shan nodded silently. On the master-teacher continent, cultivators refined Genki and Genki. In the source world, one needed to forge origin chi through the source pool to convert into force of origin. With this power, one could gradually become stronger and gallop across the world. The man before him was clearly a cultivator who could forge origin chi, also known as an origin warrior. After the infusion of the force of origin, the Moyun jade stone seemed activated, emitting an aura and spreading a fierce battlefield-killing intent. Whoosh! Feeling this aura, the onlookers' hearts beat faster, sweat poured from their foreheads, and they hurriedly retreated several dozen steps, leaving a large circular empty space. The battlefield's aura of killing and fighting was nothing to strong cultivators, but it was somewhat difficult for these students, who hadn't even entered school, to withstand. Placing the Moyun jade stone on the ground, Liu Mingyu looked at Mo Yangzu and Yu Xiaoyu. I'll go ahead and wait for you two. After speaking, she drove her horse into the area around the jade stone and quickly reached about 10 meters away. Though the evil aura here wasn't very dense, it was enough to distress an average horse, causing it to panic. Yu Xiaoyu was just about to move forward when she saw Mo Yangzu shake her head and turn towards the youth not far away. Zhang Shan, since you agreed, why don't you compete with Miss Liu? Yes, for 100 origin currency. Zhang Shan didn't demur either. He jumped onto the horse's back, flicked the reins, and walked towards Liu Mingyu, quickly reaching about 10 meters away from the Moyun jade stone as well. A colt that has never seen battle dares to compete with me. Dream on. With a light laugh, Liu Mingyu steered Dao Li forward, immediately advancing 5 steps. Now, being less than 5 meters from the Moyun jade stone, the intense aura of slaughter surged crazily towards them, and the tall horse couldn't help but tremble. Even though it had experienced the battlefield, facing such a powerful mental oppression, it too was nearing its limit. There you come. The head raised again as Liu Mingyu looked towards Zhang Shan. Although similarly within the range of the killing intent, sitting on horseback, Dao Li blocked 99.9% of it, leaving only 0.1%, which hardly amounted to anything. I'll try. A hint of panic appeared on his face as Zhang Shan squeezed the horse, guiding Zhejiang to move within a 10-meter range. In an instant, the killing intent surged into his mind. It wasn't much, but for ordinary people, it was enough to cause a certain psychological pressure. Of course, for Zhang Shan, to say nothing of this bit of killing intent, even if it were 1,000 or even 10,000 times stronger, it wouldn't affect him at all. However, since his current identity was that of a coachman, it was better to keep a low profile. Otherwise, if he just charged ahead, it would seem too false. Thinking this, he stopped Zhejiang and struggled painfully himself. Acting, he was serious about it. Entering within 10 meters, the Zhejiang horse showed no great panic. It's undoubtedly a 1,000 li horse. Worthy of Miss Mo's beloved horse, indeed impressive, but that's as far as it goes. Even the most formidable 1,000 li horse, having never been on a battlefield, reaching this point is the limit. Those who understood the situation began to analyze. Hearing these words, Yu Feng couldn't help but nod his head. He too had never been to a battlefield, but he had experienced the killing intent and knew the pressure it exerted on soul energy. For the Zhejiang horse to approach within 10 meters without showing fright was already beyond imagination. Mo Yangzhu also couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. She knew her own horse quite well, achieving this much was no small feat. It seemed that this Zhang Shan really had some skills, otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to tame such a wild horse so well. Although still bound to lose. Mo Yangzhu sighed inwardly, but to enter within 10 meters without losing composure is already a success. At that moment, she realized that Liu Mingyu had come prepared, deliberately luring them into agreeing to this competition, just to make them lose face. Having no choice but to agree, she had never thought about winning. All she hoped was not to lose too disgracefully. Barely coping upon entering, and you still dare compare with me. Seeing Zhejiang stop, Liu Mingyu wore a mocking expression, but before she could finish her sentence, she saw the Zhejiang horse, which stood still and somewhat panicked due to the impact of the killing intent, suddenly shake its head and continue moving forward. 1 step, the horse's face kept twitching. 2 steps, the horse's face looked fierce. 3 steps, the horse's face crumbled. At this moment, both horse and rider had reached Liu Mingyu, less than a meter away. Quote. Liu Mingyu was stunned. The horse clearly looked nearly incapable as it shook its head, and the rider seemed unable to endure, almost on the verge of dying, yet it still managed to catch up. And it seemed to still have strength to spare. Liu Mingyu clenched her teeth. A horse that has never been to battle, 6 meters was already its limit. I don't believe it can be on par with me. Just as she trembled her arm, about to drive Dao Li to continue forward, she saw the nearby stallion lift its foot again, already coming close, completely on par with her. Her eyes widened, she turned her head to look, and immediately saw Zhejiang's large face, less than half a meter away suddenly opened its mouth, revealing a string of gleaming white teeth, almost as if mocking. Mocked by a horse, Liu Mingyu was completely dazed and somewhat unwilling to believe her own eyes, yet the reality was right before her. Unable to help herself, she looked towards the coachman on the horse's back, only to catch him looking over curiously. Their eyes met, and a pained expression immediately surfaced on his face, as if he might succumb at any moment. Quote. A twitch formed at the corner of Liu Mingyu's mouth. Are you putting on a show for me here? Full of doubts, she looked more closely and saw that the young man was indeed in so much pain that he almost made a noise. It didn't quite seem feigned. Forget it. Since it doesn't make sense, I might as well put it aside for now. She gritted her teeth and let out a cold snort. What does being 5 meters away mean? I don't believe your little unweaned pony can outperform Dao Li. Her long legs violently squeezed the horse's belly, and the pair advanced forward once more. Clip-clop. After 2 more steps, they were now less than 3 meters away from the Moyun Jade Stone. The thick killing intent surged like a tangible force, continuously assaulting their stamina. 3 meters, actually withstanding up to 3 meters, truly worthy of a 1,000 Li horse. It's too strong, it seems Miss Mo's Zhejiang is going to lose. This achievement, even among seasoned war horses, was considered extremely high, and Zhejiang was just a horse that hadn't yet matured. Achieving this seemed unlikely indeed. Hearing the crowd's discussions, Liu Mingyu managed to suppress the invading sensation in her mind and turned her head to look at the coachman not far away, her smile cold. I advise you to forfeit voluntarily. This distance, it's not something a subordinate like you could aspire to. I will not. The veins on the coachman's forehead on the horse bulged, seemingly about to collapse at any moment, yet he stubbornly persisted. As for the Zhejiang, its 4 legs trembled non-stop, seemingly on the verge of getting frightened and entirely losing control. Seeing this, Mo Yangzhu slightly furrowed her brows, her clear voice ringing out, Zhang Shan, if you can't hold on, retreat. The disparity was clear, and although she did not wish to lose, she also did not want Zhejiang to suffer irreversible damage. Miss, even if it kills me today, I will not fail your trust in me. Zhang Shan gritted his teeth. Mo Yangzhu, usually reserved and composed, nevertheless nodded her head in satisfaction upon hearing these words. This guy. Feng Jin's eyelids twitched. Being able to serve as the chief steward in Mo Mansion for over a decade, his discernment ability was naturally present. Noticing his young mistress's expression, he understood that, after this incident, finding fault with the other party again would likely be impossible. Well then, treat him well from now on. Keep going. Ahead, Zhang Shan's shout resonated, followed by the sound of hooves, as the duo also advanced another 2 steps. By now, the horse's face was twisted as if in agony, and the coachman was shaking like one with fits, almost drooling at the mouth. Still, they endured and remained on par with Liu Mingyu. Quote. Liu Mingyu was completely flabbergasted. She was about to become an origin warrior upon opening the source pool, her physical condition already quite strong. Furthermore, with Dao Li having endured the true battlefield, reaching this place was expected. Yet, the other party, an underage foal accompanied by a subordinate without any cultivation, had achieved the same. I don't believe it, charge. With a shout, she urged her horse forward again, but this time Dao Li did not heed her command and, with a furious neigh, suddenly leaped up and ran toward the distance. Spooked, the horse beneath her, despite being a 1,000 li horse, could no longer withstand the pressure and completely collapsed. Thump! Liu Mingyu was thrown off the horse and fell hard onto the ground. She hastily retreated to about 10 meters away and only then did she catch her breath, looking over at Zhang Shan. Not far, 3 meters is my limit. I don't believe you can go any further. We might as well call it a draw. Before her words had ended, she saw the fierce-faced Zhang Shan, driving the Sugjang forward once again, this time coming within less than 2 meters of the Moyun Jade Stone. Not only that, facing the unimaginable killing intent, there was still no intention to stop, continuing forward. Clop clop, 1 meter, half a meter. Within just 2 breaths, the seemingly unbearable duo of horse and rider had already reached the Moyun Jade Stone, completely closing the distance. Facing the killing intent directly and not being startled. This is too incredible. Even the top battle horses within the dynasty can't achieve this. I always thought Mingyu's Dao Li was the epitome of a 1,000 li horse, turns out Mo Sugjang was the real dark horse. A stir arose, everyone looked at each other, seeing shock in each other's eyes. Facing the killing intent emitted by the Moyun Jade Stone, let alone just a horse, even if it were an origin warrior with cultivation, not many could achieve this, and just for this alone, it deserved everyone's respect. Impossible, how could I lose? While others were shocked, Liu Mingyu found it somewhat unbelievable. Dao Li, having come from the battlefield, managed only 3 meters, a pony not yet 3 years old, was expected to lose within 10 meters, yet it had perseveringly made it to the end. It seemed like it could fall over any moment, yet inexplicably, it seemed to grow stronger as it went. It gave the impression of being spiritually better since becoming mad. Especially that seemingly foolish coachman, with his crooked mouth and squinty eyes, fingers twitching, from a distance, seemed utterly idiotic from the impact of the killing intent, yet his butt seemed glued to the horse's back, motionless, occasionally shouting, "Giddy up tilde," to drive the horse forward. I thought letting this guy decide was a moment for Mo Yangzu to cry, never imagined that indeed someone would cry, but it turned out to be myself. That's so low, we won. Not far away, Yu Xiaoyu excitedly jumped up, the bells on her body jingling like autumn wind blowing through the leaves. Mo Yangzu also breathed a sigh of relief, looking again at the coachman on the horse's back and couldn't help nodding. This guy could not only tame a fine horse but also had such resilience, truly remarkable. After waiting a moment, seeing the other still twitching in place without stopping, Mo Yangzu could hardly stand it. "Zhang Shan, you've won, you can come back now." Yes, the coachman, constantly twitching from the impact of the killing intent, finally breathed a sigh of relief, enduring the pain responded, and just as he was about to drive the horse away, something unexpected occurred. Just then, the Sugjang horse, still trembling non-stop, suddenly lowered its head and bit the Moyun Jade Stone off the ground into its mouth. Although killing intent could oppress the spirit, it was also a tool for tempering it, having a similar effect on spirit creation. The Sugjang horse's born spirit creation, while obedient to Zhang Shan's commands, also had some thoughts of its own, just like the previous commands to split open and not wanting grilled meat. Now, seeing an artifact beneficial to it right before its eyes, how could it resist? Without a moment's hesitation, it didn't even chew, just swallowed the jade stone directly. It ate the Moyun Jade Stone. Everyone looked at each other, all dumbfounded. A horse, not afraid of killing intent was one thing, but to also swallow the source within, this was defying the heavens. "Quick, look at that coachman." A trembling voice sounded, and everyone looked up in unison. The loyal and devoted coachman, still holding his head in his hands, kept shaking and twitching, eyelids fluttering, hands and feet cramping. It seemed under the onslaught of the killing intent, he might succumb at any moment. The Moyun Jade Stone has been eaten, there's no killing intent. Why is he still making that face? Yu Xiaoyu's slightly puzzled voice sounded. A stunned silence followed. With the Moyun Jade Stone swallowed, effectively isolating the killing intent, at this moment, even an ordinary child atop the horseback wouldn't be affected, yet this coachman still twitched. What's going on? Does this thing have a delay? This Seeing that the other party was still spasming as if there were no signs of recovery, Mo Yangzu could no longer hold back. She quickly stepped forward and pulled on the reins of the Zhejiang horse. Are you alright? Don't worry, miss, I can still hold on. Jiang Shan's weak voice sounded. Feeling slightly embarrassed, Mo Yangzu coughed lightly and said, the killing intent within the Muyun Jade Stone has been consumed by the Zhejiang, it's gone. Gone. Startled, Jiang Shan's convulsing body visibly stiffened for a moment. He slowly opened his eyes, then immediately saw a series of puzzled looks around him. Realizing what happened, his eyelid twitched. Jiang Shan looked slightly embarrassed. It seemed, he had overacted a bit. The killing aura within the Muyun Jade Stone, to someone of his status as a ruler of a realm, was negligible, especially since the Zhejiang had blocked 99.9% of it, making it almost unfelt. However, appearing too calm might have exposed him, so he feigned mental breakdown. Now it seemed, the breakdown was a bit much. It wasn't really his fault. Who could have expected that this worthless horse had such poor acting skills? Not only was it not afraid of the Muyun Jade Stone, it even ate it on the spot. Can you not be reliable? I, Jiang Shan, the world's teacher, such a reliable person, how did I end up with an unreliable guy like this? Embarrassing. If I say that the killing intent just now was too overwhelming, and I am still not over it, would the young mistress believe me? Hesitating for a moment, Jiang Shan tentatively glanced over. Mo Yangzu nodded. Apart from this explanation, she really couldn't think of what else could have happened. Relieved, Jiang Shan jumped off the horse's back, and just as he was about to inquire about her promise of 100 origin currency, an angry rebuke sounded, "Return my Muyun Jade Stone." Turning his head, he saw Liu Mingyu, who had been unsurpassedly arrogant just moments before, now had reddened eyes. Mo Yangzu said, "The stone was brought out by you for our challenge. Now that the Zhejiang has swallowed it, I really can't do anything about it." "No, you must give it back." Liu Mingyu looked desperate. Mo Yangzu frowned. "Are you being reasonable? You're lost, haven't apologized yet, instead you are asking me for your item." "Wow." Liu Mingyu, who had been so dominant before, suddenly cried out, "Wow." And started crying. "I stole it from home. If my dad finds out, he will definitely scold me. Please give it back." Mo Yangzu was somewhat at a loss for a moment, then turned to Jiang Shan. "Can it be taken out?" After pondering for a moment, Jiang Shan nodded. "If you feed it more fodder, it should be able to defecate it out quickly." "Wow." Liu Mingyu cried even harder. All right. Annoyed by the noise, Mo Yangzu waved her hand. "I'll apply for a new piece from the clan to send back to you later. Let's just leave it at that for this piece. However, you lost the bet, you still need to apologize, crying won't help." Although the Muyun Jade Stones were rare, for the Mo family as one of the 3 premier clans, it was still possible to spare a few. Hearing that she would get a replacement, Liu Mingyu finally sighed in relief, sobbed a few more times, stabilized her emotions, then looked around. "I, Liu Mingyu, accept the bet and admit my loss. I sincerely apologize to Miss Xiaoyu and Zhejiang. I was wrong. As promised, she repeated, "I was wrong," 3 times. "That's more like it." Mo Yangzu relaxed, even Xiaoyu nodded in satisfaction. This person had clashed with them from their very first meeting, and to see her stumble so greatly was immensely satisfying. She probably wouldn't dare to cause trouble for a while. "Let's go." Since there was no real grudge, seeing her apologize, Mo Yangzu didn't want to pursue it any further and immediately headed towards the school. At that moment, because of their competition, the doorway was already crowded. She certainly didn't want to be spectated like a monkey. Having walked only a few steps, Mo Yangzu remembered something, turned her head back, and said, "Jiang Shan, come with me. Housekeeper Feng, you and the others, stay here and take care of the Zhejiang horse." Quote, Feng Jin twitched his mouth, but ultimately dared not say more. Unbelievably, the housekeeper didn't even have the privilege to enter the school with the young lady. If word got out, it would be profoundly embarrassing. Nonetheless, there was no other choice. Who else could subdue the Zhejiang horse? "Thank you, young mistress." Seeing that she was actually bringing him along, Jiang Shan heaved a sigh of relief, grabbed the Zhejiang horse's ear, whispered a few instructions, and then quickly followed her. Bayan Academy covered more than 10,000 acres, a vast area indeed. The students about to be assessed this year, accompanied by their families, carried big and small bags along the streets. Some seniors shuffled back and forth, eagerly helping the new junior sisters and assisting them. In the whole academy, let alone Bayan City, Mo Yangzu and Yu Xiaoyu were top tier. Having just entered the campus, they immediately attracted many senior brothers eager to help. However, seeing Yu Feng standing in the forefront, everyone quieted down. The son of the city lord, coupled with his own talent and strength, no one dared to act out of line. The source pool assessment is just ahead at the training ground. Let's head straight there. After we secure our admission, we can then figure out how to choose a teacher. Yu Feng explained as they walked. Mo Yangzu and Yu Xiaoyu nodded simultaneously. They had some knowledge about the school's rules and, even without saying, understood what to do. After walking a while and seeing that there weren't many people around, Yu Xiaoyu approached her best friend with a smile, lowering her voice. Zue, your coachman is quite capable. How about, you let me have him? Give him to you. Mo Yangzu looked over. Yu Xiaoyu said, yes, it's just a subordinate. If not, I'll pay 1,000 origin currencies to buy him. Mo Yangzu shook her head, not for sale. I'm begging you. Yu Xiaoyu batted her eyelashes vigorously. Mo Yangzu responded, using these tactics on me is useless. I said not for sale, so it's not for sale. ... Outside the campus, seeing the young mistress and Zhang Shan disappear from view, Wu Xiang could no longer hold back. Housekeeper Feng, now that Zhang Shan has caught the young mistress's eye, I'm afraid he'll cause us trouble later. Quote, even if he does, what can we do? You know the young mistress's temper as well as I do. Whatever she decides, the clan head won't oppose it. The more Feng Jin thought about it, the more annoyed he became. Rubbing his temples, he glanced at the Zhejiang horse not far away. You could listen to anyone else, why did you have to listen to that guy? Quote, indeed. As if inspired, Wu Xiang's eyes lit up. Right, since Zhang Shan can tame it, housekeeper, maybe you could too. Why don't you try now? If you succeed, with your respected status, Zhang Shan won't be an issue anymore. Right, give it a try. The young mistress won't mind. Feng Jin unconsciously nodded, took a couple of steps towards the Zhejiang horse, and cautiously reached out his hand. Yu Xiaoyu had touched it like this before, and it had been very well behaved. Seeing that the Zhejiang horse didn't shy away from his touch, Feng Jin was immediately overjoyed. After all the fuss, taming was this simple. If only he had known earlier, he wouldn't have let Zhang Shan succeed. Wu Xiang had a good idea. He would reward him well later. With a sigh, his palm landed on the horse's elongated face. Feeling his touch, the Zhejiang horse's dark eyes revealed intense sorrow and humiliation, like an innocent maiden harassed and violated. A tear fell from its eye, and suddenly, the Zhejiang horse turned sharply and dashed straight into a nearby wall. Crack! A sound followed. Its shinbone broke, its head tilted to one side, and the horse, majestic just moments before, immediately stopped breathing. What? Everything went dark before Feng Jin's eyes, and he collapsed to the ground instantly. This guy dying by his hand meant he was utterly ruined. Others touched you, and you danced with joy. I touched you, and you committed suicide in shame. Damn it, how dirty are my hands exactly? Turning his head toward Wu Xiang, he was full of killing intent. You indeed had a clever idea, but first, I'll make sure you're dead. Bayan Academy, training ground. Swarming with people, Mo Yangzu and Yu Xiaoyu sat among the crowd, with Zhang Shan closely following behind. In the very center of the training ground was a circular platform, approximately 30 meters in diameter. 9 huge rectangular pillars stood around it, each exceeding 50 meters, reaching straight into the sky. From a distance, they looked like 9 dragons soaring upwards. These are the Academy's 9 Dragons pillar. Once the source pool evaluation starts, the Vice Dean will use the Destiny Plate to summon Heavenly Mandate Vitality and test all the students. If you can retain 1 Yuan power, you are 9th grade source pool, 2 for 8th grade, 4 for 7th rank, 8 for GRADE 6. With each grade increasing, it's twice the power of the former, and so on. To reach grade 1, one must retain 256 parts of Yuan power, which means innate invincible talent from the start. Worried that his sister wouldn't understand, Yu Feng explained as he pointed, of course, Bayan Academy's requirements are not high. As long as one reaches the 9th grade level, one will be accepted as a student. Mo Yangzu and Yu Xiaoyu had probably heard these things before, so they weren't surprised when they heard it again, but to Zhang Shan, it was all fascinatingly new. Cultivators from the source world, just as he had guessed before, need to absorb origin chi to become stronger. Comparing the source pool to the Danshan, the more power it can hold, the higher the achievements one will eventually reach. Origin warriors are also called source pool realm, which has 9 DECANANOSECOND, respectively, sensing, pool seeking, accumulative phase, physique, muscle membrane, viscera, jade bone, possess, and primordial spirit. Those who come to take the assessment are those who have found and successfully opened their source pools, which is to say, they have all reached at least the second dan of the source pool realm. The more Yufeng explained, the more Zhang Shan understood the power structure of this world. It was somewhat similar to the 9 realms of martial arts on the Master-Teacher continent, only that spiritual energy had been replaced by origin chi, making the power stronger and the might superior. Not to mention anything else, an origin warrior refined with origin chi could be randomly picked and thrown into the Empyrean realm, and even an Empyrean like Kong Shi would be easily torn apart, unable to resist. That's how horrifying origin chi was. Comparing the source world to Krypton, the Empyrean realm was Earth. Clark was ordinary on his own planet, but on the latter, he became an invincible being. Vice Dean Wu Yunju of Bayan Academy is an origin warrior of the 7th rank in the source pool realm, a Jade Bone level. His strength is truly awe-inspiring. Admiration shone in Yufeng's eyes. The Vice Dean's power was only slightly weaker than that of his city lord father and was considered one of the best in the entire Bayan city. The source pool test is about to begin. Please could the students who have been called come forward to the platform. Just then, in the midst of the high platform, a hasty call echoed across the entire training ground. Zhang Shan looked up to see a man in his 50s standing in the middle of the platform, holding in his hand a round plate the size of a soccer ball. Vice Dean Wu Yunju. This Vice Dean, dressed in blue-grey clothing, exuded a feeling of fierce strength and indomitable force, even without releasing any power. It was clear that even if Zhang Shan were to exhaust all the energy of this new world, it would be difficult to contend with him. Liu Yonghe, Meng Jinbin, Yuan Hopxiang. Amidst the calling, students hurriedly made their way to the central platform. Mo Yangzhu and Yu Xiaoyu just happened to be in the first batch being called. Go take a closer look. Although the 9 Dragons pillar can lock in the majority of heavenly mandate vitality, some parts will still leak out. If you can absorb it opportunistically, the benefits will be enormous. With a slight smile, Yufeng too stood up. Even though he was just a coachman, he had truly helped his sister just now, and as a brother, he naturally couldn't be too stingy. Yes, Zhang Shan nodded and followed closely behind, walking toward the direction of the high platform. By this time, the area around the 9 Dragons pillar was already crowded with people. It seemed that everyone knew about this opportunity, no wonder even the veteran students had come in such numbers for a simple test. Young Master Yu, what's the difference between Origin Chi and the heavenly mandate vitality you mentioned just now? Sitting down next to one of the pillars, Zhang Shan asked curiously. He had heard of Origin Chi before, but heavenly mandate vitality was new to him. Yufeng explained, Origin Chi is the source of all things, and its power is wildly fierce. Even after opening a source pool, one must not absorb it recklessly. Heavenly mandate vitality, I am not quite sure of its exact origin. It's a special item sold by the Heaven Mandate Hall that can adapt to any individual's constitution. It can be absorbed into the body to nurture the newly formed source pool, which is most suitable. I have not practiced before, and I don't know what the cultivation method is. I'm afraid I won't be able to absorb it, Zhang Shan said, a hint of embarrassment in his voice. Yufeng smiled. Don't be nervous, heavenly mandate vitality is not as volatile as Origin Chi. Even if you can't practice, you can still absorb it, though the process will be very slow. Rest assured, it will definitely benefit you. Of course, one shouldn't absorb too much. If you feel that you can't handle it, leave immediately. Otherwise, biting off more than you can chew could instead cause harm. Yes, Zhang Shan nodded and did not ask further. As the two conversed, the platform above was already filled with students, densely packed and numbering in the thousands. Once the heavenly mandate vitality descends later, how much your source pool can absorb will be displayed on the 9 Dragons pillar. Then, you will easily know what kind of talent you possess. Vice Dean Wu of Wu Yunju explained. Everyone nodded and looked in unison towards the 9 Dragons pillar. Zhang Shan also looked over and soon found the names of Miss Mo Yangzhu and Yu Xiaoyu. The name of Liu Mingyu was also not far away. After searching around, Zhang Shan asked with some puzzlement, Young Master Yu, how come I don't see your name? The source pool evaluation is for new students, and their names were input during the preliminary registration a few days ago. Their identities have been checked. How could we outsiders who are just tagging along have our names there? Yufeng said with a smile. Zhang Shan suddenly understood. Begin. Having explained everything that needed to be said, Vice Dean Wu did not say more. He threw the destiny plate in his hand into the air, and in the blink of an eye, the disc reached the center of the 9 pillars, spinning rapidly and releasing 9 straight beams of light. The beams connected to the 9 pillars, and as if summoned by something, the sky immediately filled with countless strands of heavenly mandate vitality. They turned into dazzling rays of light, rushing directly towards the multitude of students on the stage. It has begun. Mo Yangzu, Yu Xiaoyu, and others stopped talking, all closing their eyes and emptying their bodies to welcome the descent of the Yuan power. Yu Feng also closed his eyes. Zhang Shan, not in a hurry, used his spirit to sense the Yuan power leaking out around the 9 dragons pillar. Although unaware of the practices of cultivation, as a ruler of a realm with extensive knowledge and experience in handling power, he was familiar with many methods. With his spirit highly concentrated, indeed he saw streams of pure power scattering around his body. Let's absorb one to see. His soul energy formed a tendril, reaching for a thread of heavenly mandate vitality and effortlessly pulling it into his body. Just as he was about to control the strand to flow through his body, trying to see if it could alleviate his injuries and be used for his own purposes, Zhang Shan's heart trembled, and he suddenly froze. He saw the strand of heavenly mandate vitality he had just captured enter the library of heaven's path in his mind. This golden finger, suppressed by Origin Chi and accompanying him on his journey, suddenly burst forth with light, and a grand sound like that of a great bell exploded in his mind. The heavens are heartless, treating all beings as mere straw dogs. The sun and the moon are incomplete, and there is a deficiency in heaven and earth. Boom! The next moment, Zhang Shan felt himself reappearing inside the library of heaven's path, surrounded by countless bookshelves and endless books as far as the eye could see. Having